What's going on, guys? Today we have a very exciting guest. Greg of Starting Up is on the channel. So Greg, how you doing today? Thanks for being here.
How's it going, guys? Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Where are you coming in from? You're overseas from us Americans.
I am, yeah. So I'm in the UK. It's getting very cold here now, in the north of England. Yeah, in a small city called Leeds, which I'm assuming neither of you have ever heard of.
Never heard of it, no.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, we appreciate you being here. So this is kind of our weekly show. So we just want to start off by just kind of asking about your journey so far. And then we'll talk a little bit later in the show specifically about Merch by Amazon. But if you want to take us back to whenever you feel comfortable starting, like how you kind of got into e-commerce, and then how that eventually led you into merch, and we'll go from there.
Sure thing, yeah. So how far do I go back? I guess I'll go back to when my YouTube channel started, because that's when I started all this stuff, really, all this e-commerce and entrepreneurship. So it's going to be close to 2.5 years ago now. I just left the UK to go traveling around Canada and America, and I'd become a bit disillusioned with the working world, the 9-to-5 career ladder. So yeah, I decided to, with this new chapter of my life, traveling and in a new environment, I was going to try and become more independent and more entrepreneurial. So I set up this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, to document that experience. And I've been trying out different ways of making money through the internet passively ever since. Started off with e-commerce. So I did what most people do when they start learning how to make money online, is I got swept up with the Shopify craze, and I was doing Shopify stores on and off for about a year. And then I slowly migrated over to Merch by Amazon in January this year. So I'm 10 months into Merch by Amazon now. And that's kind of where I'm at. I've made the transition from Shopify store to Merch by Amazon. And I have a few little earners here and there as well outside of those things. But those are the main two things I really talk about.
Very nice. Do you still travel around at all?
Not at the moment, no. So when I returned to the UK last June, July, I actually came back for university.
Okay.
So the town that I mentioned I'm in now, Leeds, I'm here because I'm doing a postgrad in entrepreneurship. So I'm at Leeds University studying for my entrepreneur master's degree. So kind of ties me into one location, at least for the next 12 months.
Oh, busy man. And are you doing some freelance work, or you have a lot of stuff going on right now, it seems like?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been juggling a lot for a while. I actually, new news, I don't think I've actually told anyone this yet. I quit my freelancing work about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I was going into a advertising agency one day a week and just doing things like social media advertising for them, digital strategy, basically applying the skills I'd learned from running this YouTube channel and building the community with this channel. But I just realized I didn't need to be doing it. I built up enough of online portfolio of making money from all my different income streams and I started my YouTube channel and this journey to try and get away from the working world and the office environment. So yeah, I actually cut ties with that 2 weeks ago, and I'm now living fully off online earnings.
Wow. That's really impressive, man. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to be at this stage now. It's great.
Yeah. So it's been at least a 2-year journey to get to this level where you can live pretty much fully off your online income.
Sure thing. Yeah. Just over 2 years, somewhere between 2 years and 2.5 years. Yeah.
Cool. That's the dream. What would be the next steps for you? So since you're selling on merch, what do you see in the future for you?
So I actually am looking to eventually build my channel into more of a business. I want to make my YouTube channel a information hub, build it as a more established website, and
so like the one-stop shop for people interested in selling online.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not just merch, but like you already have experience in Shopify and whatever else you have experience in. You want to have all just a standalone or one-stop shop online website.
Sure thing. Yeah. And I want to do things where I'm offering courses and information booklets, PDFs, and I want to have sort of guest mentors and collaborators and other contributors, and just really build a brand around teaching people how to set up online businesses and to build multiple sources of income and to live from these sorts of income they can create online.
Wow, yeah. And
It's
I
amazing.
think too, there's so many people that are looking for that it's such a good place. You know, the marketplace for that is so big, and there's always tons of people that are giving information online, but there's certain people that are going to resonate with your voice and your story. And I think that's why, you know, your channel is awesome, because you're, as we know, very transparent about everything going on, including, you know, with merch, with all the other stuff. And I think that's what really attracts people to follow you and subscribe to you, which is cool. So props. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I try and do. You know, with all the content I'm putting out there is be open and transparent, and sort of show people a realistic journey. You know, and what it takes to sort of get into this. I feel like there's a lot of gurus and teachers out there that only sort of show you the good side of things, and they tell you how it's going to be so easy and there's going to be no challenges, and it's just not a realistic standard to set for people. And it's not going to do them any good when they actually try it themselves and experience failure and feel like they're doing it wrong. So yeah, being honest and transparent is a pillar to what I try and do in everything I put out there, for sure.
I totally agree. You know, everyone has a different background story, and by you being transparent, you can really show someone like, all right, this is where I started, this is how much I'm making when I first start, and then like your journey's been 2 years, this is where I'm at now. So people can really get interested in that. And also, you know, with the whole guru thing, like there's some people that really like change their numbers on like the platforms to make it seem higher than what it is. I've seen that happen before. I know how to do it. It's ridiculous, you know. So I'm glad that you're being honest with this.
I've seen people that post pictures of their sales, and there's like you can see the photoshopped lines. It's I've only seen it a few times, but I like crack up to myself.
Yeah, it's so shady. I think we're still relatively in a new time with the internet and online learning and stuff, and there's such easy ways of gaming the system, you know, pretending to be this figure, and people haven't really clocked onto it yet. So there are, unfortunately, a lot of people taking advantage of this stuff, but I don't think it's a sustainable approach. You know, I think eventually
I totally agree, because once you get caught, you know, people are not going to follow you.
Yeah. I went back, Greg, and was like kind of watching some of your older videos, and a lot of the way you were starting a lot of your Shopify videos, it seemed like they were actually focused on that idea of like, there are so many, you know, fake gurus out there, and you were kind of giving different tips on like the real inside of Shopify, like how it actually works. So I'm curious, like, was there some reason that you started the YouTube videos about like, you know, avoiding these so-called gurus? Like, did you take a course that didn't work out, or were you just tired of seeing like people talking about this stuff online so much?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it was I got swept up in that craze when I first started it, and I bought into what a lot of these people were saying. And as I experimented with it myself, got into it, learned the ins and out of it, just through experience and the knowledge you develop from focusing on one thing for a long amount of time, I just wisened up and realized that a lot of these people were talking absolute rubbish. You know, like it's just something I learned. It's an insight you pick up if you look at this stuff for longer than 10 minutes. But a lot of my followers, you know, and a lot of people who watch my videos are just getting into this for the first time and aren't as experienced and you know, therefore wise as I was. So I just kind of saw all these people being taken advantage of and being swept up in this craze. And I heard, you know, people leave me comments on saying, you know, I'm thinking of quitting my job, or blah blah blah, recommended that I drop out of high school, or I'm on my last paycheck, I'm thinking of putting it all into Shopify. And
yeah,
you know, there's real life consequences to this bad advice people are giving, and that was kind of the main motivator. But try and identify some of the scams that are out there.
Totally. Yeah. It's a crazy world right now, but anyway, let's switch gears a little bit back to merch. And I know obviously you've had a lot of changes kind of going on with your business. And so we normally talk about our numbers and kind of the last week, and then we can kind of get into some specifics. So Chris, do you actually want to start us off with just how your merch business is doing? And then
yes, I do. Some things have been going on, so I'm pretty excited to share with you guys. So starting off, the tier I'm on is 500. So I'm still on tier 500. It's been a while. I think I started on tier 500 in June, like June 1st, I think. So I've been on the tier for a while. For the past 7 days, I've made 16 sales. So that is a pretty nice increase over the previous weeks. I've had one cancel and I got a return. I was on a nice streak with no returns, but finally got a return. This month for October has been pretty good. I've already sold 13 items. Excuse me. I've sold 13 items for the month of October already. Yeah, that was eBay and Etsy at once. Sorry, let me put that away.
That fires me up.
I didn't plan that. That just happened. So, and we're only on the 7th of October, and I've already sold 13 items. So that's a pretty good sign. Overall, I've sold 197 items. Speaking on this before, I kind of recognize that when people make around 200 sales, they tier up to 1,000. So since I have 197, 3 more sales will hopefully get me in that area of tiering up pretty soon. So overall, I've only had 6 cancels and 6 returns overall for merch. And just to go back to the past 7 days, I've sold 11 unique things for the past 7 days. I've sold 5 standard t-shirts, 4 pop sockets, 1 long sleeve, and 1 sweatshirt. So that's been going on with that.
Oh, you got a sweatshirt sale. That's huge.
Yeah. I did sell a hoodie before too, so I'm getting some hoodie sales. But that was like a couple weeks ago. And some strategies that I've been implementing is really focusing on my AMS store. I've been putting a lot of work into it. I don't know. I want this to be a place just like any other website where people can go to. They already have an idea of what they want, and they can easily find it in my store. So I'm just putting a lot of work into it. I'm glad that they have that feature available for us merch sellers. So the strategy with that is to build that out. Hopefully I should be done by today or tomorrow. I've been working on it for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So I want to build that out. And another thing is I've made a social media profile for Twitter, and I have Pinterest, and I have Facebook right now as well. So, and I also made an account with Hootsuite. I've tested it out already. And so your question last week, Ben, they do not have Pinterest on Hootsuite. So
okay, yeah.
I have to go to Pinterest like separately to post to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So just driving traffic from those different social medias to the AMS store, and that is really what my whole goal is. And I already told you.
Driving. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, have you actually started driving traffic and like spending on ads, or not yet? You're just trying to finish the storefront right now.
I haven't been driving traffic to my store because I'm not done yet, but I have been posting like just listings on Twitter and listings on Facebook. I've been commenting on other people's tweets. I'm new to Twitter. I don't really use Twitter like that. So I comment, I follow people. I've already gained 5 followers within the past like 5 days. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just like, really into Twitter. I'm putting a lot of work into it, a lot of focus on it. Same thing with Pinterest. I'm testing out. I want to try out the ad, but for some reason the ad platform doesn't work for me. Facebook gave me like a $10 credit to run ads, so I'm testing that out right now. I only got about 3 clicks, so I mean, I don't know. Facebook advertising is a little bit
money
difficult.
on fire, pretty much.
Yeah, luckily it was a credit, so I'm not really spending it at all.
Yeah, I've been burning through money on Facebook recently. Not good.
So you're both advertising on Facebook for your merch t-shirts, is that right?
Yeah, individual listings. I'm putting it on Facebook, and then just for that one instance. I'm not really going and putting more ads on my other listings. Just that one listing because I got a credit. Other than that, I probably wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Or actually, like I said, I don't mind testing stuff. I'll test things out when I know I might have a good shot at it, I guess.
Sure. It's always good to just keep testing until you find some strategy that works, right?
Exactly. Another thing that's been going on is I think I mentioned before, I have my designer uploading a spreadshirt. So since that is out of the way, I have more time to focus on social media and building that online presence so that when I do open the AMS store, I can drive traffic to the store. So that's really what my position is. I'm just the researcher, the social media manager, and pretty much about it.
Are you spending most of your time on merch still, or are you now spending more time on Etsy at all? Like, I'm just kind of curious overall what you're doubling down on. Obviously the storefront, but Like which platform are you more excited about right now?
For the past week, I've been like pretty much heads down focused on building that store. But after that, I just have a lot of focus on merch by Amazon pretty much. Like when I get my designs from my designer, it's going straight to merch first, and then I'll venture out to Etsy. I already have 235 listings on Etsy right now.
Oh wow.
I'm making some pretty good sales, and I should put more focus on Etsy because like for the past week it's been going up pretty well. But right now I really want to get this AMS store down. And I came into an opportunity for me to make some more income. And as I'm doing that, every dollar I'm making is going to go straight into the business. I'm going to hire another uploader / designer to focus on Redbubble for me. So that's what's going to be going down for the next couple months.
Nice.
I just want to put a lot of money into the business and I want to see exponential growth, so that's really my main focus.
Can I ask a question? Sorry to ruin the
sorry,
format
I've been talking like so much. Sorry.
You just said one word that got my curiosity. You said you're going to hire an uploader. Do you both have uploaders uploading your Amazon merch designs?
No, I do not know. I don't want to tread over that, waters. It's too risky. They specifically say that they do not want other people uploading to your merch account. Only you can. But I don't want anyone to doing that. I don't mind Redbubble or Spreadshirt. I don't really mind Etsy either, but I'm going to be uploading to Etsy and Merch by Amazon, and I'll have my uploader designers upload to Spreadshirt and Redbubble. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, that was the mindset I was of as well, because I wanted to see where you two were with that.
Yeah, no, I don't want my merch account, getting taken down for any reasons at all.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't have a uploader for anything. I actually like doing the uploads to Etsy, and I don't mind them on merch either. So for now, I'm doing it, but we'll see. Maybe down the road. Yeah.
So what about your business, man? How's everything going for you?
Yeah, I'll do a quick run through. So I'm at tier 1000. I've got 730 designs live. I've been really pushing pop sockets a lot. So I think I uploaded maybe 150 over the last 2 weeks. And I haven't uploaded anything to any of the international markets. So I still need to do that. And Greg, I want to hear about if you've been doing UK and Germany a lot too. So, and then in the last week, I've sold 36 different products, I guess, or products, mainly t-shirts and a few pop sockets. And I've had 3 cancels. I've been recently getting just a ton of cancellations and returns, which is quite frustrating. But I guess it kind of just happens when you're pushing some bigger numbers. So, but as far as what's working, I'm doing another bulk order with my designer for 400 to 500 t-shirts, and we negotiated a lower price. So I'm just starting to I want to get those all up within the next, I'd say 2 weeks. I'm hoping that I can do that so that they can optimize on Amazon before November starts, and hopefully get tiered up to tier 2000 sometime in late November, early December, just before the new year. So that's kind of where my business is right now. And Greg, I think earlier you asked about the Facebook ads. I've been starting to do Facebook ads only in the last 2 weeks, and I've pretty much just been lighting money on fire. There's one specific niche that I have on merch that sells pretty well. And so I created kind of a page on a Facebook page for that niche, and then I'm running ads to different posts, and the posts also link back to my t-shirt designs. And I think my long-term idea there, and the reason I'm fine burning the money right now, is because my long-term vision there is for my kind of top-selling niche on Amazon. I want to take that and eventually build a branded, a Shopify brand around that niche. So
are you finding those ads profitable?
No, not at all. I haven't sold a single shirt and I've only spent maybe $25-$30. So it's nothing crazy, but my goal is to kind of actually build up a Facebook page. And so I'm really more running the ads just to get traction to the Facebook page. And yeah, we'll see from there. And then I have been doing a little bit with AMS, but I'm a little bit frustrated with it right now. I just am not seeing, I'm getting a lot of impressions, but not even good click through. It's really weird. So I think
quick question.
Yeah.
Back to Facebook.
Yeah.
Are you getting at least any? Are you getting engagement at all? Any type of engagement? Any type of link clicks, like likes at all?
Yeah. So what I did was I created a post for like this T-shirt. And then it's one of those slider posts. So it's a picture, and then on the next one, it's the actual shirt, and then the link goes back. And I think I have maybe like 50 link clicks, but of those 50, not a single person actually purchased the shirt. And it's one of my top sellers on Amazon. So it's I don't know what's going on there. I think I need to keep tweaking and testing it, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if anyone I've seen has had success with Facebook ads back to merch designs. Have you guys done any of that stuff? Or
Yeah, I mean, I try it out. I've definitely seen gurus on YouTube having success, but
yeah,
other than that, like realistic, I haven't really had the success with it before. I've had a Facebook page for my eBay store like a year ago, and I can get link clicks. That one's a little bit trickier because you don't really know if it's converting like from Facebook. But either way, like I have a listing from Merch by Amazon up right now for the Halloween niche. I'm like I said, I only got about 3 clicks so far, so I'm not really making any sales for that one item. But I'm glad that me and you are smart enough not to just dump a lot of money into it. We're only putting like, $15, $20, $30 on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, really.
Totally. I think that was kind of my goal is, as I scale my merch business up, I'm taking all the money and either putting it back into designs, or I'm putting it into like $5 a day ad tests on either Facebook or AMS. And because I think it's like anything else. And Greg, you probably have some experience with this from the Shopify stuff. Did you run like Facebook ads when you were more into Shopify, or?
Yeah, I got quite a bit of experience. I only really had one ad that really took off and made me significant profit, and the rest just crashed and burned. But yeah, I've messed around with Facebook ads a fair bit in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, and you kind of touched on it there, is that I think it's all about like you have to keep testing the different ad sets, and you might burn, let's say you test and you burn $50, but then if you get one ad set that takes off and you can actually scale that ad set, can grow and hopefully bring in a decent amount of income. So I think right now I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, but
yeah, it's a little tricky. I mean, you feel like you're doing everything right. Like you're targeting people that are interested in this topic, and they also have to be interested in this topic. And like you feel like you're doing everything correct, but once it's out there, you get a lot of views, but no conversion. So it's a little bit tough,
Yeah. I'm a little anti Facebook ads for t-shirts. I just think for someone to be browsing, to be on Facebook, you usually go on Facebook for a specific purpose, to catch up on your friends or to see some feeds from maybe some news channels you like or something. I don't think you go onto Facebook to actually go shopping. Really, it's not really the mindset you're in when you log onto Facebook. And I think the likelihood of getting someone who's just gone on to casually check up their friends, by habit, to change their mindset into making a purchase, I think it's so unlikely. I just avoid Facebook ads altogether with t-shirts.
Do you think it's people aren't interested in buying from Facebook in general, or just t-shirts specifically? Because there's probably millions upon millions of people trying to sell t-shirts. What if you were to change that strategy and try to sell pop sockets? Because pop sockets are pretty popular right now. Do you think pop sockets might have a better chance at making a sale?
Potentially, it might be more of a novelty factor there. So potentially, I personally, from my experience, I mean, I haven't got droves and droves of experience, but I do have some, and I kind of reached the conclusion that to find that diamond in the rough, that needle in the haystack of a person that's going to actually go on Facebook and then convert to a sale, you're probably going to have to spend a lot of money to find that one conversion. So I typically now I sort of reserve Facebook ads unless I'm trying to sell a more profitable item. So if I'm selling something for like $30, $40, $50 profit, then I might use a Facebook ad, because I feel like you're probably going to be spending that much money per conversion. Yeah. But if you're just making like a $5 revenue off a t-shirt, the likelihood of getting a conversion before you reach that ad spend, I just feel like that it's too unlikely. It is possible, people do it, but I personally stay away from it. I don't do that much ads at the moment. Like I'll go on to talk about, I've just started Amazon advertising this week, but I typically, if I was going to advertise t-shirts, I'd try and go towards platforms where people are more primed to be shopping, to be in the shopping mindset. So advertising on Amazon, for instance, people go to Amazon to buy things. Or if you advertise on Google, like Google shopping bar at the top, people do a Google search for a product to buy something. Like, so you've already kind of gotten half committed before you buy the ads. But I just feel like you're just sort of pushing up a hill, you know, with a Facebook ad. Like there's so many odds against you. I personally avoided it up until this point, but
I think that's right. I mean, I think that's really true. Is that people, if you're on Amazon and you see an ad, you're already on Amazon to make a purchase. So versus Facebook, you said you're not there to make a purchase necessarily.
You're there to socialize, pretty much. Yeah,
which is, I think, the promise of why AMS could be so good, but also why I'm frustrated with it right now.
For me, I've only made, I think, like 3 sales from AMS. I've probably spent about $15 now, so it hasn't really, I haven't really made back that $15 at all. But yeah, I don't know, I think it's just so like competitive right now, you know. So it's really tough to get in there. No, like you can't just advertise a dabbing unicorn and expect to make a sale, you know. So yeah.
So Greg, do you want to dive into your numbers a little bit and just kind of talk a little more about your business? And
yeah, sure. So yeah, I'll just get the pretty merch screen up now, and I'll just run through some figures that pop out to me. If you have any questions or I missed some numbers that you normally read off, just jump in and tell me, and I'll go over them. But yeah, I'm tier 2000. So yeah, tier 2000. I've had 738 products currently live. That's probably around like 200, 250 unique designs, because for each design, I'm typically doing 4 products: premium, standard t-shirt, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt. Last 7 days, I've sold 14 items and I had 1 cancellation. So 13 confirmed sales. Yeah, so those are the numbers that are standing out. Is there any other numbers you normally run through?
So no returns for the week at all?
No returns so far, no, just a cancellation, 1 cancellation.
Okay.
So are you using, when you're listing them, you said you have maybe 200 unique designs. Are you using, I think it's what, Merch Buddy, or is that what it's called?
Yeah. I love Merch Buddy so much. It's like my best Amazon merch tool. Yeah. So I literally get a single design. I write out the description for it once, and I just put, t-shirt in that listing, and then copy and paste it to every other item, replace main keyword from t-shirt to long sleeve shirt or to sweatshirt, and then you've got 4 listings, and the amount of time it takes you to do like 1 listing, like another minute.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was finishing.
I was just gonna say too. Do you also publish them on the UK marketplace in Germany, or are you just doing US right now?
So I got access to the UK and Germany maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So the shirts I've uploaded in that time, I've uploaded, in addition to the 4 items for the US, I've done an additional upload for standard t-shirts for the UK. I've kind of ignored the German market so far because I don't speak German, for one, and I don't really know that market.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So yeah, I rather than doing 4 listings now per design, I'm doing 5 because I think the UK t-shirt is there.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned sales of all time. So yeah, 755 sales.
Whoa.
All time.
Amazing.
And
I feel like you went really quick. Like, I think when we had our last video together, you and I were pretty much at the same place, and then it was like the next month you were tier 1,000, and I feel like 2 weeks.
Like the next week, yeah.
You were like tier 2,000. I was like, what? I thought, like, wow, I'm doing something wrong. Like, this guy just went up 2 tiers in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so, it was insane, man.
Yeah, like I'm just curious. So you do you have any strategies that you think took you that rapidly up to that level? And
just about to ask that too.
So at the time, I thought I did, because my sales just exploded in month 4 or 5, and I went from, I'll just get the figures up now. Just going to go to Analyze tab. I went from something crazy like $30 revenue or $60 revenue the month before. It's loading now. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Yeah. So actually, it was $18 I made in May 2018, and then in June 2018 I made $660.
Yeah.
And then in July I made 946. So it just went. I think I did the maths, and it went up by like 330%.
Wow.
It was nuts. And I was, I kind of thought, I've cracked the code to merch. I know how to do the research now and what sort of designs to do. But people who don't know my channel, I just bring it to speed. My sales actually start dropping. So I had really high sales for 2 months of the $600 and the $900 month, and then the following month it went from 900 to 250. That was August, and then it dropped again in September. And the reason being is the sales that sort of carried me through that explosion and the tier up was just from really one design and one niche that I'd sort of found.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Now, did you get an Amazon's Choice badge on your listing?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I don't believe. Yeah. I didn't receive an email or see anything different on the listing, no. But I was getting like 10, 15 sales a day for a good couple of months. Yeah. So
it's from one or two designs, or
pretty much, yeah. A few varieties of one niche, yeah. Very similar designs as well. Yeah. So
these are probably. I was gonna say, so they're from the sound. It sounds like they're probably like just seasonal designs that really took off, really, and after the season was over, kind of dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was the right place at the right time. Yeah, and then they dropped down. So when my sales exploded, I started to outsource to more designers. I was trying to get more designs done. With the new profits I was making and targeting new niches. Feeling like I cracked the code and sort of learned the trick to merch, but the other designs I uploaded didn't seem to gain traction and didn't seem to get sales. So when that one niche dropped down, I hadn't really gained any traction with the other designs to compensate for that. So yeah, I'm kind of back now to testing, experimenting phase, trying new strategies again to try and get that previous success kicked back in again.
Yeah, I think that's good. Like, what can happen on Amazon merch, so that something like that really just like boosts my motivation to continue into Merch by Amazon, because you can make $900 months, which is really good. That's really good for a lot of places.
Now, talking pricing, like what were you pricing at $5 royalties, or what was your there?
So my strategy ever since I started using merch has been start pricing at cost or a few cents over that. So either like $12.87 or $12.99.
Right.
And then when you start to get a few sales, I gradually increase it, and I aim for that sweet spot of like $4 or $5 profit. Yeah. Okay. And depending on when the sales start to drop off, I sort of stop increasing the price at that point. So when those sales explosions started, it wasn't as much profit, but then I quickly obviously increased the prices and up to like $18.99 and $19.99 region, and started making some big bucks. Yeah.
I need to test that out. I'm usually always nervous. I was nervous to go over $16.99 for a while. I kind of crept up to $17.99. I'm kind of just scared to go past that. I don't know why. I just feel like if I go to like $18 or $19.99, I might not get any sales, but I should definitely test that out so I can get the $4 or $5 profit range off of each sale.
Yeah. I actually, because I had a few shirts in this niche, I actually was experimenting with like the 4 or 5 designs. So I had a sort of a spread of costs over some designs that are very similar in that one niche, and they started like $14.99, and I had another one at maybe $16.99, another one at $17.99, and another one at $19.99. And I found that no matter how I changed the prices, it was always a shirt around the middle price range, $17.99, that would sell the most. I'd get some $19.99 sales and some $14.99 sales, but it was really strange with this specific design in that niche. It was around the middle price range that was selling in high volume.
Yeah, I feel like the pricing's very interesting. I went back through a lot of my listings recently and priced some higher, some of the designs that hadn't been selling. All of a sudden, like, they started selling. I don't know why. It makes sense. But yeah, I was gonna ask. I think the big thing that I'm curious about is how your mindset actually is right now, and what your outlook is with merch in general. Because to go, it's obviously got to be a little challenging to go from $900 down to 250? I mean, obviously at the same time, like Chris mentioned, like you see the potential with the platform, but I'm just curious, like what your outlook is on everything now, like what strategies you're changing.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously you get a bit disheartened when something like that happens. I mean, like Chris said, it's great because you see the potential that is there. You know, you get what can happen. But then it's also disheartening when I was trying to continuously put work into the platform during that boom, and it didn't really pay off after that. So I definitely view Amazon merch as more challenging than I originally did, and I feel like it takes more time, effort, and learning of the platform than I possibly originally thought it did. I'm experimenting now with new strategies, but I'm not putting my 100% into merch because I could be putting 100% into it, and then the new strategies don't work, and I spent all this time on something that isn't going to pay off down the road. So I'm kind of half in, half out of merch, trying a few different things off, and just giving it time to sort of the design to sit there and stew and see if they get some traction and see if any of these new strategies work. And if I do see some potentials, I'll put more into that specific strategy that works and try and build that up and see if there is potential there. So just kind of balancing expectations, not trying to get too optimistic and put all my all into it, but also make sure I am testing every so often, experimenting and seeing if there is potential in the new strategies I'm using.
I know exactly what you mean. Like for me, I know when I get these designs that I'm just like, wow, this is definitely going to be a winner. I put all the right keywords. I'm like, I'm definitely going to make sales with this. I upload it and it sits there for like 2 or 3 weeks with no sales. So I'm just like, all the way up here, then I go right all the way back down, like crap. But you got to keep uploading, and you just have to keep a balance of motivation throughout the whole journey, really. I guess it's best to say, like, kind of don't expect too much. Is really, be balanced with making like a good income, I guess. Like a decent. I don't know. Everyone's journey is different, but yeah.
Well, that's it. I don't know if you have the same saying in the US, but we have a saying in the UK: "Don't put all your eggs in one basket."
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and my channel is all about multiple sources of income and spreading the risk and spreading the income over different sources. So, merch by Amazon is one of a few things I'm experimenting with, and I'm not putting all of my optimism into that one area. But I am still trying to nurture it and grow it and see if there is any potential there. Sure.
Yeah, that actually, I want to transition real quick. So I have been watching your channel for a while, and I noticed that you put out monthly income reports. So I see that you're, kind of not all over the place, but you have like a good set of income platforms. So what would you say was the strategy that you used to like exponentially grow your business? So when you first started, you weren't making anything. What did you notice that you changed when you started noticing more sales?
That's a great question. To be honest, I don't think there was any exponential growth like I had with Merch by Amazon, that boom all of a sudden. It didn't really go that way with my other businesses. I'm a strong advocate for consistent long-term effort and sort of gradual growth. Because a lot of my income is based on having audiences. So a lot of my income comes from YouTube, affiliate marketing, that sort of stuff, getting traffic, visitors. And I feel like that's the sort of thing you build up over time through just chipping away, consistency, constant effort. Eventually the snowball effect kicks in when you have lots of things out there to be found by. So it gets easier the bigger you get and the longer you've been doing it. But there wasn't really a turning point where things exploded. It was just a nice consistent growth on growth every month, and to get to where I am now.
Awesome. I'm curious, do you have any other like e-commerce related things that you're kind of looking towards now, like adding another source of income, let's say with like private labeling, or are you expanding to different platforms with your t-shirt designs, or just kind of curious what the outlook is?
So my plans, focusing on t-shirts for the time being, around that. My plans around t-shirts is going to be, if any of these strategies that I'm testing the water with now do pick up and I do get some strong sales and some strong niches, the next step is going to be multi-platform. So the next platform I'm thinking of going to is going to be Etsy. We mentioned that before. We started recording Etsy with a printful integration, fully automated. If I do get to a point where I feel like I'm competent and I know what I'm doing with print on demand. That's going to be where I go next. And then you've obviously got Redbubble and all the other things there. So yeah, I'm waiting to see if there is some promising potential with the new merch strategies there. Outside of merch, so I'm starting to plan to develop a course through my YouTube channel. So creating digital information products is going to be a next avenue I'm going to be exploring in the next 3 to 6 months. And then also I'm currently building a software platform as well, and looking to get into the software industry and make money from sort of monthly subscriptions and that sort of stuff there. Yeah, so I've got a few things in the works.
Exciting, man. Very exciting.
That's great.
How about you?
Sharing your experience. I'm glad that you're sharing your knowledge with with other people by building the courses and building the software to really help people grow their business. I think that's truly amazing. So you're just not going to stop, huh? You're going to keep putting out more content and like more helpful things for everybody, huh?
Yeah, man. I think I'm a strong believer. If you find a formula that works for you, then keep working on it and keep scaling it up. And the YouTube video, putting out information into the world, creating content, like that's been my most successful thing to date. So that's my bedrock. And I it's going well. Why stop? So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep pouring like effort into that, and then try and work on little branches off that as well, and test little new areas and see if I can get some new sources of income on the offside of that as well.
I think one of the things that I think is most inspiring, just talking on you and your experience, is that you're at this base where you can survive and do pretty well, like just from your streams right now. So as long as you just, like you said, keep doing this consistently, you're only going to grow from here. And that's like with all your different businesses. And I think that's like the most exciting thing. It's fun for me to see you're like growing. I saw your video when you hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was fired up. I got to make more.
Congrats on that too.
Yeah. Thanks, man. It was a big milestone. Yeah, I was really happy with that.
Yeah, very cool.
How about you two? I haven't touched base with you in a few months, Benjamin, and this is the first time we've spoke. Chris, what are your sort of future plans, either to do with merch or outside of merch?
Chris, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I'm very inspired by your journey. So pretty much what you're doing with your like brand of starting up, helping people, that's something that I can see myself doing as well. Just building that one-stop shop for people to go to and just learn how to sell online. Because I already have experience on eBay, I have experience on merch, I have a little bit of experience on Shopify. Just everything that I know, I want to share to other people, and so that they can learn and then share their knowledge with other people, all in this just one big group. So I mean, I'm very inspired by your journey, and that's pretty much what I want to do as well. But I am stuck with the 9 to 5, so it's kind of difficult to like work on that and do merch in my other businesses and do that project I want to do as well. So it's a little bit difficult, but I do want to do pretty much what you're doing.
Yeah, I can imagine juggling the 9 to 5 and the extra stuff it must be pretty tough.
I mean, when I get home from work, I'm just like, where can I spend my time the best? But the best thing really is like just putting down like on your calendar, scheduling time for like, all right, from this time to this time, I'm going to be working on this, and then from this time, I'll be working on this. But sometimes like when you work on something, it could bleed over, so it's a little bit tricky to really like get that down pat. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on a bunch of stuff too, and like Chris, I have a full-time job, but I personally like being busy, and I like having right now. I like the full-time job, and I like having all the merch by Amazon and the YouTube channel have been really fun for me. So really focused on these right now, and just kind of trying to take. I think I can get the print on demand stuff up to a good level, and working on a few other things around it. Also, some software related stuff that I'll talk about more down the road. But yeah, I'm just excited. I feel like there's so much opportunity, and honestly, the thing I enjoy the most is doing the YouTube videos and connecting with other people, and also on Facebook. So yeah, I just plan on keep chipping away and be consistent like you've been, Greg, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
I agree with that too. Connecting with people on Facebook and pretty much like-minded individuals on YouTube, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really rewarding. There's times where I'm messaging people on Facebook and they're giving me advice, and or vice versa, and that I think that's kind of the most the most rewarding, the funnest part about all of this is because getting sales for yourself is one thing, like that's great, but I just like the journey of connecting with people a lot more. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree completely. Yeah.
Greg, I have kind of two, like, I guess the last two questions I have for you. And then, maybe we can wrap up or see if we have anything else. But I guess to someone just starting with either, you can answer this however you want, someone just starting off with merch or with e-commerce, do you have any advice for that person if they're just starting that journey? Just from maybe your 2+ years of experience doing this stuff full-time.
Start for one. I feel a lot of people think about starting way more than they should before they actually start, and they try and learn everything,
Right.
watch every YouTube video and read every book and read every blog. Like, start. You can do all that stuff while you're working on what you're working on. And
It's
then
the name
just
of your brand, starting up, right?
Sure, yeah. Let's bring it full circle. Yeah, man, for sure. That's probably the most important thing I've learned. And after that, just keep a experimental open mind. So, go into it knowing that not everything you try is going to work. A lot of things are probably going to fail, but just keep testing, try different things, try a variety of different skills and different strategies, and eventually something will stick. Something will show you potential, and then you just go down that direction. You focus, you learn more about that, and then you build it up and up and up. But yeah, a lot of people experience failure like 1, 2, 3 times, and they think, oh, this isn't for me, and they move on. But the fourth thing they tried might have been, the gold mine. So I just feel like you have to be open to failure, open to experimenting, and like I said, just start, because doing something is the best way of learning about it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess my last question and kind of follow up is, do you think that merch is like a good platform for people to start on with e-commerce, or would you recommend maybe starting somewhere else?
I 100% think merch is a good platform to start. I mean, there's no risk. It's completely free. There's no upfront cost at all. You to get an account, to create designs. If you're broke and you can't design, just watch some YouTube videos, download, like go on Canva or something, learn.
Right.
There's no risk. If you start a Shopify store, you're going to have to pay for the monthly subscription. You're going to have to pay for ads. If you try Amazon FBA, same thing. So yeah, I think merch is one of the best places to start, and you can learn so much about e-commerce there. You can learn about consumer demands, like niches, pricing strategies. You can now use Amazon advertising and learn about how ads work. I genuinely think and for e-commerce 101, it's one of the best places for new starters to go, for sure.
Awesome. I guess I just have one last question. Are you guys going to start using the new profanity allowed shirt stuff for Amazon?
Thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to wait for a while to see, because it sounds like some people are having issues when they upload. They're still getting rejected. So I guess I'm just going to wait until Amazon gets all the bugs out. But that's probably not a bad thing to do. Just upload all types of curse words on there. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. You go first, Ben.
I'll just be quick. I'm very cautious with it. Knowing Amazon, not just from merch, but even from private label and other stuff, like I know that they can change their mind and do stuff. So I'm just really hesitant to do it right now. But like you said, I'm going to wait until some other people have had some success and then maybe dive in. But yeah, Greg, what about you?
Yeah, I completely going to just resonate with what you just said. I'm not going to aim to be a pioneer, one of the first people trying it out, but
right.
It goes well for some other people when it gets established and a few months down the line. I'm open to giving it a try for sure.
Yeah, cool. Anything else, guys, before we wrap up? Any other questions? Anything else we want to touch on?
I know, Greg, you said you have a book, right, that people can actually go to and check out. Could you want to go ahead and talk about the book for a second?
Yeah, I mean, I think book's a bit complimentary. It's a little PDF, like e-guide. It's just like I think it's like 12, 13 page getting started guide that I put together with Amazon merch based on everything I learned to get me to tier 500s. So if you want to download that, it's completely free. You can go to startingup.com/merch by Amazon, and I'll email you the PDF. It just basically goes through research methods I use, you know, looking at BSR, like bestseller ranks, finding niches with Merchant Informer, and yeah, and basically how I use that to inspire my designs to get to tier 500. So it might be a good starting point for any of your viewers that are just starting out with this and want to learn how to make their first sale.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, some people don't always have the time to sit down and watch YouTube videos. You know, some people could be at work reading your ebook. So I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for giving that a shout out as well.
Yeah, no problem. I'm definitely gonna link that in my description below as well.
Yeah, and anyone watching this on mine or Chris's channel, will put links to Greg's channel down below, and all the tools and everything we talked about as well. So, yeah,
Great,
anything else?
I have one quick question. I think you briefly mentioned that you're trying Amazon advertising now. Ben, I'd like to know a quick summary of how that's going for you, and are you doing it yourself as well, Chris?
Oh, you want to go ahead, Greg? Ben?
Yeah, I'm just looking at mine right now. Yeah, I mean, I think I've made a total of 1 sale. So what I've been doing is, just to touch on that strategy, is I have right now 4 campaigns live, and I'm just doing the automatic. I read the Merchant Informer like guide to running a campaign, and I'm just doing automatic campaigns right now. So I didn't do anything with the keywords. I think Amazon just determines which ones to use, and I think this strategy that I would go for, or what my mindset is on that, is to use the automatic campaigns for 1 to 2 weeks. And then you can download a report of, you know, all the data from those campaigns, and then create a manual keyword specific campaign and target the ones that were converting for you. I think that's how it works, but I'm still pretty new to the platform myself. So you guys might know more than me, or I'm sure there's some videos out there that talk.
That's awesome. I didn't realize you could download that data once the ad's been sort of settled in for a while. That's great. If that's correct, that's correct.
And I'll need to look into a little bit more. But Chris, are you? I think you said you did spend on these in the past, right? Or
yeah, I've spent it on the past. I'm trying to pull it up right now. So I just pulled it up right now. I've spent $29.21, and I made $43.82 in sales. I've sold 3 from AMS.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it sounds good on the outside, but you know, the profit margins are pretty low. So actually, in actuality, it's not that great, you know.
Okay. I just checked. Yeah, if you have an automatic campaign, you can click on that campaign and then go into there's a keywords tab. You can choose that, and then it'll create an Excel downloadable report.
Oh wow!
And tell
That's
you
awesome.
what's got like the most impressions or whatnot. So I think that's strategy.
You basically just take those keywords and implement those into your title, because the title is where you get the most relevancy for your item. So that's really the strategy. And then once you learn the keywords that people are searching for, you know, you can stop doing the automatic and then start honing in on more specific campaigns. Specific is a little bit tricky, because for Amazon, you have to type the customer has to type in that specific keyword, that sentence, to find your listing. With automatic, you know, it's really pulling data from a whole bunch of different keywords to find your listing. So it's more of a testing game. You have to test things out. And a good thing is to just like get your niches in one campaign and learn what keywords people are using to find those groups of shirts. And you can have it running for about, I don't know, like a week or 2. And then from there you can optimize your listings. So that's the strategy to use. It's just, it can cost a lot if you're not managing it, you know, a lot.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, that's a completely different strategy to what I've used so far, and that sounds promising. So I think I might change my approach.
And the cool thing, I think you said you're probably gonna look into selling on Etsy. Like Etsy gives you keywords as well. Whenever you do ads on Etsy, they also give you the search terms that people use to find your listings. But that's a lot cheaper than Amazon, because Amazon has, you know, so many customers and Etsy has a lot less. So it's a lot cheaper to get keywords on Etsy, but it's not a bad idea to do both, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I started using Amazon ads probably like 4 days ago now. I've got 13 campaigns. So I had 12 originally, and then I copied one that was making sales and tried to optimize it a bit to make that 13th. But yeah, I've spent $71 so far. It's saying that I've made $31 of sales, but I read that it takes like 12 hours for your sales data to come through compared to everything else, because I've definitely made more sales in that time with shirts that are in ads than it's showing on the ad platform. I don't know if you've had experience with that before, but I just read that it takes like 12 or so hours for that data to come through. So the
Yeah,
figures probably
right.
aren't accurate.
The reporting.
Yeah, I think I've made like 4 sales from ads so far.
Are you doing one campaign, like one T-shirt in each campaign, or are you doing like all of the ones for that niche in that campaign?
To be honest, like I mentioned, I'm all about testing. So the reason I've got 12 is I'm just testing out so many different strategies. So I've got a few campaigns that are niche specific. I've got a few campaigns, I think, where it's just the one design, but across T-shirt, hoodie, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt. I've got some that are targeted, some that are automatic, and I'm just kind of trying to collect data and see what works best and what doesn't. And that's kind of where I'm at, learning about being able to pull that data from the automatic ads. So it's going to add, like, I love data. I'm a data nerd, so that's going to get me really excited.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's just interesting to hear where you're at, and that's the thing, the deceptive number at the top, like $31 of sales, but the revenue for each sale is like $4 or $5. The profit that you're making.
Yeah,
you're actually losing money.
Yeah. But no, I feel that there's a lot of potential here. I just kind of want to crack how it all works. You know what I mean? I feel like I've got a lot to learn still.
I don't think there's like a key like way to do it. It's more like just testing things out and trying to pull it back up. Yeah, so I think that you just really have to test things out, see what works for you. Like, what to do. So just take what you have and then go from there, really.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Keep us posted. We all need to kind of work on these and get another video down the road talking about the different strategies and whatnot.
For sure, yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I appreciate everyone being here, and
yeah, thanks for being on, Greg. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It was good to talk to you for the first time, Chris, and catch up with you, Benjamin. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll have to do another one of these soon. But I think with that being said, again, all the links to channels will be down in the description below, and we'll see you guys next week for the next video. Cheers.
Bye, guys.